Movie with bullets flying, a North Korean soldier makes a daring escape across the border to the south. Shot multiple times, he barely makes it to safety. All of this caught on closed-circuit television. CNN's Brian Todd is here to break this down. I mean, I can't believe it, no matter how many times I watch this. So tell our viewers how this went down.
Okay, so Jim, we'll pick it up here after he drives his Jeep into a ditch. At this point, he has already crossed past a North Korean checkpoint, a command post. He's driven past it. Soldiers have already come out. They're aware of it. They've been running toward him. Okay, we're going to pick up the video here. He's in a ditch. You're going to see him getting out of the vehicle here. This is on November 13th, a week ago Monday. Now watch, he runs over this way. I got to pause it at just the right. Look at this. You've got his fellow North Korean soldiers chasing after him here. They come right behind him.
I mean, they're just feet behind him.
It's hard to know the depth, but it can't be more than 15 feet.
Yeah.
They are firing at him. He's running. How they don't kill him at that moment is astounding. Okay, now watch. He gets out of the frame. This soldier hits the ground, probably purposely, to steady his shot. He hits the ground. At this point, look at this guy over here. He comes in, seemingly with a pistol. He levels it. We're not sure if he fires or not, but if we come over here, you can see other North Korean soldiers over here on the right. They're firing.
Yeah, those are plumes of smoke.
Those are plumes of smoke.
They're firing those weapons.
They are clearly firing. 40 bullets fired at this guy, Jim, in these frantic seconds. Now watch. This North Korean soldier scrambles across the demarcation line, chasing after him. He's not supposed to do that. That's a violation of the armistice. Watch what he does. He gets about, 15 feet across, doubles back. Now, I talked to General Spider Marks, who's commanded troops here. He says this guy isn't going back because he thinks, oh, I violated the armistice. He's going back because he could be a target. He's realizing South Korean troops are on the way. He knows they're on the way, and they could be shooting at him.
Now, so he's running for his life then at that point.
He's running for his life then at this point. We're going to then get to this other video. Astounding here. Now watch. You're going to see, look at this. He's presumably already been shot. Look at him. He's bounding across, full of adrenaline.
That's what we think, as many as 4 bullets in him at that time.
Now this is on a loop, so it's just going to keep repeating. But look at this. He is hoofing it. He is getting across to the South Korean side of the border, presumably having been shot at least once or possibly twice. We'll go to a still shot of him here. He's lying in a heap by a retaining wall. He's already across the border. The doctor said he lost more than half of his blood. Okay? So then we're going to get to this heat-censored video here. I'm going to play it here.
These are the figures here because it detects the heat signature from their bodies.
Heat signature video. These are 2 South Korean soldiers. What's interesting here, Jim, at this moment, look at that. Looks like one of them has got a gun leveled for cover as they crawl toward him. Look at this. They're going to pick him up. They're going to drag him back toward their side of the border. Now, this is technically on the South Korean side. But again, General Marks told me at this moment, they're exposed to North Koreans who have a line of sight and a line of fire at them from over here. And the North Koreans could have easily fired more shots. You would have had an escalation. They drag him back over here to safety. He is airlifted out and then taken to a hospital. Again, the doctor saying he lost more than half of his blood. He took at least 5 shots, several of them, let's say, the doctor said in the shoulder, in the abdomen, in the knee. The one in the abdomen is the one bullet that stayed in his body. That caused the most damage, and the doctor later said that one almost killed him, Jim. He lost more than half the blood in his body. He is lucky to be alive right now.
A life-threatening dash from the clutches of the Kim regime. This dramatic video released by the UN on Wednesday shows the moment a North Korean soldier made a desperate run across the world's most heavily militarized border last week, escaping to the safety of the South. After passing North Korean army checkpoints, he appears to get stuck in a ditch before running for his life across the military demarcation line as his fellow countrymen unleash a hail of bullets. Amazingly, he survives and is pulled to safety by US and South Korean troops. On Wednesday, Seoul gave an update on his condition. Reuters' Josh Smith has the latest.
Doctors announced today that the defector has regained consciousness and appears to be in stable condition after a series of surgeries to remove multiple bullets from his body. They say, however, that there continues to be a high risk of infection, and so he's not out of the woods yet. Risk of infection has been heightened, they say, by some of the soldiers' condition, including a serious case of parasites and other hygiene issues that the soldier appears to be suffering from.
Doctors have identified the man as 24 years old with the surname Oh. At his request, they've been playing South Korean pop music for him and American action movies. The UN command also had an announcement about the incident on Wednesday, saying the video shows North Korea breaking terms of the delicate Korean armistice, the only thing that stands between the North and the South actually being at war.
The way the soldiers apparently violated this armistice was first when they stopped to fire at the soldier, at the fleeing soldier. Some of their fire crossed into South Korea across the border. At another point, one of the North Korean soldiers appears to run briefly across the actual border before apparently realizing his mistake and turning around and returning to North Korea.
By this stage, officials say Allied troops operating the CCTV cameras that captured the whole ordeal had notified their commanders, and soldiers had assembled on the South Korean side of the border.
A father begs for the lives of his wife and 4-year-old son. Mr. Lee's a North Korean defector. His family was detained in China more than a week ago while they too were trying to escape, were concealing their identities to protect other family members still inside North Korea. China doesn't see defectors as refugees but as illegal economic migrants and returns them to North Korea and almost certain punishment.
When defectors
are caught trying to go to South Korea, Lee tells me they're sent to political camps and never leave. From what I know, in 2 to 3 years, maybe less, you'll wither to death. Because my son is young, if he's not sent to the camp with his mother, he'll wander the streets like an orphan and die there. Lee breaks down repeatedly. He says he defected alone in 2015, carrying poison in case he was caught. In October, he arranged for his wife and son to escape, but on November 4th, they were arrested by Chinese authorities along with 8 other defectors. Lee says he phoned his wife, she said they were in handcuffs, then the line went dead. He's heard nothing since. A 4-year-old child in a cold cell, he says. How is he surviving? It's just horrible to imagine. He makes a personal plea to China's President Xi Jinping, appealing to him to see his son as he would see his own grandson. The Foreign Ministry said last week it's unaware of the case, but handles such matters in accordance with international law and humanitarian principles. Reverend Kim Sung-un says he and his mission have helped around 500 defectors to escape. 20 years ago, he tells me, for me to bring one defector to South Korea, it would cost $5. Now, it costs up to $20,000, which shows how much more difficult it's become. Chinese soldiers are all along the border. As the Chinese and South Korean leaders met Saturday, Seoul's presidential office said they've asked China to handle North Korean defectors from a humanitarian perspective. Lee says another source of hope for him was US President Donald Trump's speech to the South Korean parliament, where he listed North Korean human rights abuses. He asks the US president to intervene. My son is my whole life. He's everything, he says. Thinking of losing him, I'm devastated. I'm in darkness. A desperate plea for help, knowing the fate of his family lies in the hands of others.